Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I'm coming on today to show you how to make one of these pop-up box cards. I made one for my mum's birthday, which was similar to this. And I've had some requests, would I show how to make it? So I used Craftwork card papers for this, and I think I just made up my own dimensions so that it would fit in an envelope that I'd got. But I thought that we would have a look and use pieces from this kit that came free with issue 359 of Crafts Beautiful. I used to buy this magazine ever such a lot because it has got lots of different crafts in it. It's got knitting, paper craft, embroidery, and I like all of those things, as well as other crafts as well, you know, like using a bit of air dried clay. It's a very varied magazine, and I hadn't bought it for ages, and I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. Now the kit is from Stephanie Waitman, who is of Tattered Lace, and I've got to do a summer themed project for a collab with Kathy's Favourite Things and Patty from Life with Patty, and I thought I'd have a go. Now I think you can still get this magazine in the shops in the UK, and there are lots of ideas on how to use your kit, and I think there are some tutorials in the magazine. I'm not going to use what's in the magazine here. I'm going to just go rogue and do my own thing. So it says we've got 75 pieces inside. I haven't opened this. We've got some decoupage cards, we've got some papers, we've got die cut shapes, and we'll see what's what. Oh, just make sure there's nothing in there. Packaging be useful, so that won't be going to waste. So we've got some card. That's quite nice, isn't it? We've got acetate that you do need for one of these style cards, because you want the little pieces that are popping up out the top to appear as if they're floating. So the acetate, I don't know if you can see it shining there, gives a good you know, illusion of the things just floating in the air. If you haven't got any of your own acetate, you could use packaging from boxes, you know, that has got acetate on. Maybe give it a bit of a clean with some isopropyl alcohol to get fingerprints off, but we will need that, so we're just going to put that there. Then this is the template that has come with the magazine, which is useful, but I'm not quite sure how you would use it, because you need 4 sections. That's maybe where you need to read the magazine. But the dimensions excuse me, for the panels that they suggest are about 9 centimeters for the top bit and 12 centimeters for the bottom bit. So that should add up to 21, which it does. It's just, yeah, 21. So you can get possibly 2 of these. No, you can't. You would need a whole sheet of A4, which is what I've got more or less. And then so the panel width is 7 centimeters, which is the width of the one that I'm going to make today, as it would happen. So I'm just going to move that template out of the way, and let's look at the papers. So this is double-sided, very thick. That's lovely. I haven't looked to see if there are any free downloads in the magazine. That's lovely. I like that. That's very summery, isn't it? We've got some foam pads. Yeah, double-sided adhesive foam. Don't need that. Let's just bring that under there. And we've got this floral sprig one. Oh, and that's nice. I like that. I do like that very much. Yes, I think that's going to be a goer. And then we've got this. Oh, and again, there's some more of that in a more subtle piece, which I think I'm definitely going to use for the back of the card, because you need something that you can write on. So if I kind of cut this portion here, that would work. Then we've got that. That's quite nice. I think this is still my favourite extra piece. Oh, and that's nice, with the roses and the script and the butterflies. So that all coordinates together nicely. Oh, I'm liking this as well. These are lovely, actually. I really hope you can download these. And that is lovely as well. Beautiful, beautiful. I think we'll stick with the pinks. And then we've got some die cut elements here, which I'm going to use some of in our pop outs. So we've got that there. I'm not necessarily a fan of the pink foil, but you know, each to their own. I'll just pop that down there because I don't think there's anything on there I'm going to use. This I do prefer. It's got little sprigs and butterflies. We've got best wishes, have a great time. That's nice. We've got another one with pink foiling, but some of these flower elements are nice. We've got some bigger ones there. And then we've got that. So we've got quite a lot to play with here. Now, I just need to talk to you about how I'm going to make my card. So I've got a good sturdy piece of 300 GSM card here, and I've cut it to 29 centimeters. So that is going to give me 4 7s are 28. I want each panel to be 7 centimeters wide. So that will give me a centimetre to make a tab to glue together. And I want my panels to be square, the panels that fold over like this. I want them to be square rather than rectangular, but you can obviously do your own dimensions. You just need to work out the proportion that you want here. And I don't think that is 7 centimeters, is it? No, this is smaller. So this is 5 centimeters. Each panel is 5 centimeters. So that is a 5 centimeter square, which is 2 inches for you Americans. It is a very miserable day here. We've had all that glorious sunshine, and today it is raining and grey. They promised rain yesterday, but we didn't get any, and the gardens are desperate for it. So although it's a bit of a pain to be indoors, it is perfect crafting weather. So give Barry your order, and I've got a double chock-a-mocha. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, this is 21 centimeters currently. I might cut this down further, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to score at 7 centimeters on the short side, and I'm going to score at 7, 14, 21 and 28 on the long side. So I'll come back to you when I've done that. So hopefully you can see that I've scored at 7 on the short side, 7, 14, 21 and 28, and that's going to be the base of our card. I need to decide now on the proportions that I want this panel to be. I don't think I want it as long as 14 centimeters high on this point, because you've got to be considering your envelope size. So I think I'm going to cut this portion down to 10 centimeters. So I'm just going to move my scoreboard out of the way and trim 4 centimeters off this edge here. Okay, so I prefer the proportions of that now. It's going to give me quite a chunky card. So what I need to do now is fold and burnish all of my lines on the short side, on the long side rather. And this here. Okay, and I can go ahead and cut away this short section here. So I've got my scissors. We don't need this portion. Okay, and I'm just going to make this into a tab shape here, and we will be gluing that together to make our box shape. I'm just going to have another burnish now. One of these panels, although I've scored all the way across, one of these panels we're not going to burnish. We're going to keep it straight. So you can see on this one here, the back doesn't fold down. You could fold it down if you wanted to, but I personally prefer that standing up straight, because that is where, oh, if I can manhandle it, that is where you're going to write your message. Okay, I'll just leave that there. Oh, leave that there so it's handy, so you can, so I can reach it if I need to. So the next thing I'm going to do before I glue this together is cut down these, carefully cut down these score marks here up until this point here. Okay, I am not very good at cutting in a straight line. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I am more left-handed than right-handed, and when I was growing up, scissors were all made for right-handed people, so I couldn't actually cut properly with scissors at school. So that's why I've had to learn to use my right hand. Okay, so I'm going to glue this section together now. You could use tape if you wanted to. I'm going to use a little bit of collal, I think, because that's a nice firm glue. And I'm just going to bring this up to meet here and kind of line it up so that I've got a lovely neat finish, and then just come in and burnish this a bit more. There we go. And this takes a minute to grab, so I'm just going to leave it just for a minute. You could decorate all of your panels before you stick it together, but okay, so I think it's a good idea to have your what you call it, your join towards the back of your card, if that makes sense. I'm just getting rid of that extra glue. That's a good thing about collal, you can do that, but this still hasn't grabbed, so I'm just giving it a little bit of help. There we go. So I want my crease, if you can see here where I've joined, I want this on the right hand side, so I'm not going to fold this flap down. I'm going to burnish this down this way, and again try and make it neat. So that's the front of my card, and then this is the side, and we're going to go here and do this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide which papers I want and decorate the base of my card. So I'm going to start off with 3 strips, or squares rather, that are 6.5 centimeters square, because this is 7 centimeters square, and I want a little border round. You don't have to leave a border, you could cut your paper to 7 centimeters square. You can see that my edges aren't particularly neat. You could go in now that they're separate and just tidy that up a bit. And I'm going to need 6 pieces that are 6.5 centimeters square. So one for the top. So choose your prettiest paper for the top, and you might want to put a sentiment on here at the front of your card, and then you need some paper for underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 6 pieces that are 6.5 centimeters square, and 3 pieces that are 6.5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters, because this is 10 centimeters long. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, because you don't really need to see me do the cutting of paper. Camera running there, and I've speeded up the footage of me going through the process of choosing the papers and gluing most of them onto the box. So when the card is in its envelope like this, this is what the recipient will see, with some bits sticking out. You can be as flamboyant with your decorating as you want to be, but these papers are quite detailed and I want them to sing for themselves, really. And there we are with it decorated up. So you need, as I said, 6 squares that are 6.5 inches square if you want to leave a border around. If you don't want to, then obviously cut your card to size. 3 panels that are 9.5 by 6.5. One that is what was it, 16.5 by 6.5, and then a portion that is shorter than that to go inside, because you will see the top bit of this card, but you don't need to necessarily go all the way to the bottom if you want to save paper. I have to say the quality of these papers is absolutely beautiful, and I'm loving these soft muted colours. It's reminding me of summer weddings, and obviously all these flowers we would see in the summer. So what we need to do now is have a mechanism that we can stick our floating elements to. And this is the strip that I cut off this card base. And I've gone ahead and I've cut two bits that are 9 centimeters by 2 centimeters, and I've scored them at 1 centimeter in on each side. And what's going to happen is you're going to stick these inside your box to make that kind of thing. So if I turn it that way, this little bit here is what you're going to stick in, that little bit there. So I will try and do that on camera for you. You don't want it too far down the box, but you need to space these out evenly, and I might do 3 depending on how many elements we want to stick in. So I will come back when I have done that. Or shall I show you? I suppose I'd better show you, hadn't I? You could use tape for this, and in fact actually I think I'm going to use tape because it's less messy. I'm using red liner tape because it is stronger. Just get my scissors. Cut that little bit of excess off. Take the backing off, and I'm going to stick another layer nearly out of this size of tape. Where's my edge gone? There it is. It's very sticky stuff, this. And you need to glue or tape obviously both sides. Just going to fold that tape back on itself so it doesn't get in the way. Lay that down flat and do this side. Thank goodness you can't see my tongue sticking out. I think it was the lovely Martha Hamilton went back and watched one of my early videos before I'd got this particular filming set up. I think it's called the worst tutorial you've ever seen or something, and you can see me grimacing and my tongue sticking out and all sorts. And she's just recently watched it and said she didn't think it was the worst tutorial ever. I think it's pretty poor quality, but thank you for your lovely kind comments, Martha, if you happen to be watching this one. So we've got our little flaps here that are now covered in high tack tape, and I am going to get my box and I'm going to line this up so that it sits almost at the top and not quite in the corners. And then what should happen, we should be able to fold our card flat, and that, can you see? That's going to give a structure for us to stick our acetate to. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. You don't need to see me do that. So I actually decided I wanted 3 structures to put floaty things from. And I've gone ahead, and the acetate that we were given I've cut down into approximately 1/2 centimetre, not quite a centimetre strips, and I've left them quite long at the moment because we can cut them down in length when we've decided what is going to go where. Now I like this have a great time. I want that on a thing sticking up, so I'm just going to stick a bit of tape to the back of this element. You could use glue, but I think the tape is just neater and quicker, so I want it that way. So that's the bit that's going to stick onto the acetate. So burnish that down, take that off, and pop that on some acetate like so, and we'll decide how tall we want that. So Yeah, these are just the right weight as well. You don't want anything too thick. I'm not quite sure what weight these are. We'll have a couple of these butterflies. We don't want the pink foiled ones. This one's a pretty one. Go for this one. You want a variety of sizes and a variety of shapes and heights, just to make it interesting. Stick that like that. I've got too much tape there, so I'm just going to fold the bottom of that up like that and stick that on my acetate. So I'll go ahead and decide what elements I want and then show you what I do next. So I've had fun making this. You do need to be aware that the higher your elements, the more they're going to impinge on envelope size. So I'm going to need to make an envelope that obviously fits those bits that are sticking out, but it's all nice and bouncy, and don't feel you have to stick your elements straight up. You can put them at an angle like I have with this butterfly here. I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements there. And I've just found this little butterfly. In fact, there's a teeny tiny butterfly. There, look, little teeny tiny butterfly. But yeah, I've enjoyed using these elements. They're very pretty colours, and I took one of these circle die cuts and used my circle punch to get rid of the pink foiling around the edge. Oh, I've got sticky tape on me. So yeah, I'm just going to stick this butterfly on, I think. So need a little bit of tape on the back of the butterfly. That's a bit more than I need, so I need to just turn that end up. Oh, these bits do get everywhere. And I think we'll stick him on this one, yeah, so that he's sticking straight up. So this is quite a long piece, and you want to stick your tape on the same side as your element, because you're going to stick this behind the little card structure to hide all the gubbins of the tape. So it really does look like an illusion of these things floating in space, which is what I like about this. And if you didn't have any die cuts or dies or a die cutting machine to cut out your own little bits and pieces, you could stamp things and fussy cut them. And I'm going to stick that in the middle of this one upright there, so it looks like he's floating. Stick on. Oh, need to lower you down a bit because I can see the tape. It does get a bit fiddly when you've got more elements. And there we go. There he is. There. And you can arrange, you know, that I've got that little circle behind that acetate, or do I want it in front? I will have it in front. There we go. So there's my little like bouquet, and I just need to find a sentiment to go on there, or another die cut thing that perhaps we could raise up. So I'm just going to look and see what I fancy. So I've finished decorating this card now. All I've done is I've taken one of the die cut pieces that was a square, and I didn't like the, well, I didn't like the size of it because I wanted to show some of this background paper, and I didn't like the cream outside edge, so I cut it down. I think it was 5 centimetres square, and I've just gone around the edge with some seedless preserves because that ties in really nicely with the colour palette of the paper. and I've mounted it up on some packaging. I don't know whether you can just see there, and I've added just the little Tim Holtz clippings summer from the seasonal clippings selection. I mean, obviously I could have embellished this more. I could add Nouveau drops or more sentiments or glitter or whatever, but I just want the beauty of this gorgeous paper to sing for itself, really. So what we need to do now is make an envelope. Now, it is not a standard sized card. I could probably no, I was going to say I could get it in a 5x7 envelope, but I can't. I've measured it. Of course I can't get it in a 5x7 envelope, Ashley. I've measured it and it is 5.5 inches by 7.75 inches with these bits sticking out at the top. So my envelope punch board doesn't have any measurements like that on it. I've got 5.5 by 7 and 5 by 7.5, but nothing that is close on here. So I'm going to use a tool, a very useful tool I found on the internet, and it is an envelope punch board calculator. So you can use imperial measurements or metric, and it gives you a choice of whether it's a thin layer of card and you get 7/16 of an inch margin, or a thick card. I'm going to class this as a thick card, and you can actually do a box with the envelope punch board as well. So we're going to go to imperial, and my length is 7.35 to 7.75, and my width is 5.5. Enter it, and my results are I need to cut my paper size. Oh, that's nice and easy actually for the punch point. I need to cut my paper size to 10 5/8 of an inch square. So I'll do that. I'll find some paper and come back to you, and we'll make the envelope together, because Brenda asked me if I would show how to make an envelope, so this is a good opportunity to do that. I've gone ahead and I've chosen this green and white paper because I just think it's the closest I've got that coordinates all right, and I've chosen it out of this huge paper stack that I've had a very long time. So I make a lot of envelopes out of these papers. It worked out at 8p a sheet. There's all sorts of colours in there. I've had it a very long time from Dragon's Papercraft. Does it say how many there are? 180 sheets, yeah. So I've had that a very long time. It's very useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the paper on the inside. So I'm going to score on the right side of the paper, and we will see the pattern inside the envelope, if you like. And it tells me that I need to score, punch and score at 4.5. Now you just do the first one, and if you get that accurate, then it's plain sailing. So punch and score so that you can see, but don't score so hard that you tear the paper. And then you line up onto this notch here where your score mark is, and you punch again and score, and line up your score mark with the notch. So you're only measuring once, and you score again and line up a final time and score. So hopefully this will fit. So I'm just going to burnish my edges. Now I could round my corners, but my corner rounder isn't very good on certain weights of card. So I'm going to keep them pointy, I think, on this occasion, and just very carefully fold and burnish. You don't need to be too aggressive with it. and the final one. So hopefully our card will fit in here. So what you need to then do is fold your 2 side flaps in and the top flap up. You could cut a straight line along there if you wanted to, or fold it under, but I'm just going to leave it as is. And I'm going to get my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue, which has got a very fine tip applicator, and I'm going to run a very thin bead of glue, obviously not all the way to the point because we've got more paper than we need. So I think that's about right. Hopefully you can see that. And we're just going to gently fold that down, and this glue does stick very quickly, so let's see if it fits. Let's see if it fits. Yeah, we've got plenty of room in there for it not to get bashed, and you could put a glue dot on there, or I'm probably going to put some washi tape. I've got some nice botanical washi tape that will fit in with the theme. Now you can make these cards any size that you want, and I made this one a while ago that I've shown you. You've seen on a previous video the one that I made for my mum, which is same papers as this, but again a different dimension. And then this one I made a long time ago, and it is Diddy Diddy Diddy. Can you see that? So for this I've used Tim Holtz paper for the background, and I've used ephemera for the decoration. And I don't know where my Tim Holtz ephemera has gone. It got lost when when Ella tidied my room up, so I think I've fussy cut bits actually, and that is a photo booth. Oh no, it's not, it's from a bit of paper. Yeah, so these are all elements just fussy cut actually. Yeah, they're all fussy cut from bits of paper, and that measures, each panel of that is 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches by 5 inches is my base panel, and then the little panel is obviously 3.5 inches by, I think it's 2 inches. Yeah, centimetres actually, centimetres, but that is so Diddy. And then I've just made a little envelope out of, again, Tim Holtz paper for that to fit in. Now if you would like to win this card and this template, because I don't need it, I'd like you to be a visible subscriber, and I'd like you to comment down below what your favourite summer flower is, and I will contact you if I haven't got your address and pop this in the post to you, perhaps with a couple of other little goodies as well. So a little secret hidden giveaway there. This weighs a lot, so here it is again, just for you to look at. And you can see there. If you would like to win this card, comment down below what is your favourite summer flower, and I will be back on Sunday. I'm not sure that I'm going to do a video tomorrow. I might, but I don't know, but I will definitely be back Sunday, where I will be showing this, talking through this as part of my summer collab with Kathy's Favourite Things and Life with Patty, and there's some other projects that I have made for the collaboration as well. So come back on Sunday, and I will see you very soon. I know this is a long video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.